it was something that I actually sparked by an NFL great, Richard Sherman, and he kind of brought the idea to me. He actually brought the idea to my dad, and then my dad brought the idea to me, and I actually talked to him about it. And it took a couple of nights of thinking. I actually brought it to the staff, to the coaches, and I don't know if they really took it seriously too much in the very beginning. I don't know if they knew if I was actually serious about it or if I was kind of just a thought. But I see an opportunity for myself and somewhere where I can grow. And I think my ceiling as a tight end is a lot higher than my ceiling as a receiver. And so I think if I continue this path, there's good things in store. Maybe some physicality as a receiver, knowing I'm a 6'3" receiver that's like kind of struggles to stay under a certain amount of weight. 215 pounds was just like a regular thing for me, and it was like I was constantly trying to stay as light as I can to keep up the speed of staying a receiver. And it's like, I mean, why not put on 15 more pounds and be an elite tight end? You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, I took his words, and I appreciate him giving me that idea. And like you said, I do look at him as someone, as a mentor and someone that's helped me out in many ways, and I appreciate him looking out in this way. Right. It was definitely a transition, and I kind of thought it was going to be harder and more fierce than it is. And like I kind of threw myself in there as soon as I could, and I mean, my first time going in there to block somebody, I'm like, wow, I love this, man. I want to put my face on somebody else, and it was just something I enjoyed doing, and I mean, I'm happy about the transition, and I'm excited to see where it goes. It's almost like I jumped into it. I almost started liking it right away. I don't know if me and tight end still in the honeymoon stage, but I think I started liking it more than receiver. It's like I get the physical side of the game. I love that, and then I also get to be a route runner. So I enjoy it a lot, and I'm excited about it.
Never. I've never taken a snap at tight end in my whole life until I got here. Never. We're just a bunch of good guys. We all get along well together, and we got a bunch of different backgrounds that, I mean, we all come from different positions, and I mean, a lot of it helps, but also, I mean, it's also a big learning curve because you're so used to different operations, the way things operate. But I mean, it's been great so far. We all get along really well, and we all help each other in different aspects. Oh yeah, I mean, especially looking some from a defensive perspective of stuff. Like, I mean, after playing, and like I know what they're taught to do, and I mean, I attempt to use it against them. It doesn't always work, but yeah, sometimes it works. Blocking is just more of that's a want to, in my opinion. I mean, like if you want to go do it, you're going to go do it, and route running, that's a craft you got to learn. I mean, this summer, I'd come in here 6 at night with Coach Key and just work. I mean, work routes and work my footwork and stuff. I mean, it's just something I've never done, so it's getting better every day.
Then you got guys like G. There's a lot of great tight ends, though, that didn't play tight end in high school. It's big receivers, it's big quarterbacks, it's linebackers, it's DNs. That's kind of the nature. Mitch is like a big running back. It's that hybrid role. That's kind of the norm. So what they bring is a lot of athleticism. A lot of times, like, G hadn't done a lot of blocking, or Cade having played run, but they've played a lot of ball, so they understand concepts and they understand defense. So in some ways, they're very, very smart. So it's a challenging position, takes a lot of time. It's a developmental position. It's a developmental game. We recruit well. We're still a developmental program. But it's one of the hardest positions to develop. But our guys embrace it. And those kids they're going to be some good players in that group. I think everybody says, who's your starting 11? I think we need about 18, pushing 24 guys to win this league on offense that can play. And that's what we're going to battle for. Those cats can move a little bit now. I mean, Paris got, Nick Petit's very athletic. I mean, the athleticism of that unit is maybe more impressive than size. And then their ability to perform. So, and again, it'll be interesting, as it shakes out going forward. Nothing's, again, etched in stone. And we're just trying to, Matt Jones is playing well. Harry's come back healthy, looks good. Luke Whippler, young player. Josh Fryer, young player. Really impressed with Donovan Edwards, young kid, tremendous young player. So we're going to have more than 5 that we can play with, and that's encouraging. That's exciting. Cade was a tailback guy. They wouldn't even let me talk to Cade when he was coming out. They wanted him to play defense. And I'm like, man, his body says tight end to me. And that worked out good. G right now is a little light, pushing upper 220s, pushing 230, but he plays strong. If we put a bench out here and start a bench, and he'll be maybe the strongest tight end we got as far as bench. So to be a little light, he still plays with speed and momentum. So he's really probably 6'3"-ish, not a 6'5" guy, but he's thick enough to be a tight end. So everybody's a little bit different. Those guys are tough enough to play the position, and I think they're tough enough to develop, because it takes some toughness to want to hit the weight room and eat and rest like you need to rest to play that position.
everybody can do everything. Can't really tone into one guy, because if you really try and give your all attention to one guy, then the other guys can really just step up and kind of hurt you. So we're trying to be as balanced as we can, whether it's perimeter, run game, everything like that, and try and just like I said, just be as balanced as we can and have a lot of weapons. So I feel like as we all continue to push each other in practice and be competitive with the defense, they're playing really well. So I feel like kind of competition within ourselves is kind of making us more balanced and spread out.
What's your impression of the quarterback? I don't know if it's starter or anything, but what's your impression of those guys?
Yeah, I mean, they're all doing great. Like I said, they didn't really have a camp last year, so it was tough for those guys to really get into it. But as the season went on, you could really tell that they're trying to take it seriously. In camp, it really shows how professional you are, and in the meeting room, on the field, and walkthroughs and everything like that. And they're all taking it super seriously, and we're excited for that. How talented he is and how capable he is of being a good football player, and I think playing tight end is a little bit more of technical and more of like playing a position of development, and it took a whole year to develop, and I feel like he's really starting to fill those shoes and show how much he, like I said, how much he cares about it, and it's really showing. He's playing free, he's playing fast, he's playing violent, and he's playing really well. Yeah, it's definitely a tough transition, but I think he's the perfect guy for it. His mental approach to the change has been outstanding. He really wants to do it. He wants to be great at it, and this whole offseason, him and Cade were partnered up in the workout groups and everything like that, pushing each other really hard. So they go hard, they compete. He fits the mold of what it has to be a tight end here, and I think the biggest thing, like I said before, is the mental aspect of it and the want to, because at the end of the day, you can be as strong as you can. You can lift the most weight, but weights don't hit back. Players do, so you have to be a ball player and really just show that you want to do it. Yeah, like I said, he wants to, and he's showing that he can. He's not scared. He's not shying away from it, and he's coming along really well. He's throwing his stuff in there.
Jeremy, you made a commitment, obviously, to return to school.
I think the biggest thing for me is just, I've always went hard. I've always taken it very serious, but after making the decision to come back, I feel like the thing that really hit me was that this is it. This is my last chance to really go through all this off-season programs, this fall camp, and really just focusing on making it count. You can't really rely on next year. I'll do this next year. I'll do this next year. I mean, this is it. This is my last fall camp. I missed out on one last year, so I really got to take it seriously. And I think my mindset of just going through every day like it's my last, because it actually is what's really helping me out this year. Yeah, I think I'm playing a little bit more free this year. I feel like I understand the offense a lot more, so I think I'm able to play a little bit faster. I think this whole offseason, really understanding concepts and sitting in the meeting rooms a lot more with the coaching staff has really helped me understand kind of what we're trying to do on a play, not just a play. So like with the why behind it. So I think that's going to help me play a little bit more free and get into some spaces where last year I might not have been able to get into the zones or anything like that. So I think that's what's going to help out with playing a little bit more freely and a little bit faster this year.
Jeremy, what are your goals during camp here?
It looks pretty insane. Seeing all those guys out there next to each other, it's definitely something to see. It's all those giant guys on one line together. But I mean, this whole offseason, everybody's been moving around. Everybody's been doing it. We haven't really had one solidified offensive line yet. So I think they all were prepared for it, moving around and being as flexible as they can, because especially learning last year with COVID, everything, nothing's set in stone. So you had to be ready to do anything you can. So I feel like that's what's really helping us out a lot.